So, here we are. This is the latest, greatest Specialized Crux DSW gravel bike for the 2024 season. And in this episode, I will give you the buyer's guide for this bike. And also, I will tell you, should you just go ahead and buy it, or should you just shortlist this latest gravel bike? So, hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. If you are not already a subscriber, I would, gladly ask you please to subscribe, because it's going to help in growing the channel. And for all of you who are already a subscriber, I say thank you. So, speaking about the latest Specialized Crux DSW gravel bike. Basically, the DSW stands for the Dialusio Smart Weld technology. So basically, it's the patented technology from Specialized, where they are using this Dialusio Smart Weld to make the whole aluminum or alloy frame much lighter than the competition. And the headline for this bike is definitely that this aluminum gravel bike is currently the lightest gravel bike on the market, which I totally believe, because, for example, this alloy frame, aluminum frame, has a weight of 1,400 grams, and this is in the size 56. So, we can first answer the question, who is this bike for? So this gravel bike, a typical example of a gravel bike, is aimed at riders who spend the majority of their time riding on the road, but from time to time you like to go a bit off-roading, maybe doing some gravel races, maybe a bit of bike packing. So these bikes are super popular currently, and they are very kind of useful, very useful bikes for different road and a bit of off-road applications. So, this Specialized Crux DSW has a retail price of $2,600, which is a very interesting price point, specifically from Specialized. And when you think about the paint schemes on this bike, there are two paint schemes on offer. The first one is this beautiful gloss birch and clay, so basically this kind of nice white with a hint of silver, I would call it. And then you also have this very classical satin smoke with the oak green, but I'm not so sure where is the green in this paint scheme. But okay, this is like a totally, let's say, blacked out smoke, as they call it, satin smoke paint scheme. Again, I'm glad that Specialized is offering two paint schemes on this bike when you consider the retail price of $2,600. So okay, now we can dive into the specifications and really see what are you gonna get for your hard-earned money. So first thing first, let's talk about this frame and the fork. So this frame is the Specialized E5 aluminum alloy frame with the Dialusio Smart Weld technology, and the fork is the S-Works carbon fiber fork. So as I was saying, this frame is currently the lightest alloy gravel bike frame on the market, 1,400 grams in the size 56. So super impressive stuff, no problems here. And also this frame and the fork come with the 12mm true axles, both front and the back, and there is a threaded bottom bracket on this aluminum frame. Listen, in today's world of all the carbon frames and all types of the bikes, kind of aluminum frames are, having a little bit of a comeback, and it's totally fine to have an aluminum bike frame. Of course, with carbon fiber, you can tune the bike ride much better and make it much smoother, but alloy frame has some other advantages. For example, if you think about, if you have some kind of crash or a little dent, you don't have to be so worried about the alloy frame, while with the carbon fiber frame, if you crack it, that's about it. It's kind of game over, unless you want to go down the route of trying to fix it. So with this lightest alloy frame on the market and the matching carbon fiber fork. Absolutely, I have no complaints here. It's gonna work perfectly fine. And again, Specialized has a huge experience in making these light alloy frames. Now moving on to the handlebar and the stem on this bike and some other smaller pieces. As you can see, the handlebar and the stem is a very classical solution. So these are aluminum pieces, both handlebar and the stem. Nothing is proprietary here, so they are separate pieces, which is absolutely excellent. So in the future, if you are ever thinking of upgrading or replacing these pieces, it's going to be super easy because nothing is proprietary. Also moving on to the seat post, this is a classical 27.2mm seat post. This is an aluminum seat post, so this is one of the things that I wish Specialized has included a carbon fiber seat post here, just because it would soak up some of the smaller bumps much better. So maybe in the future this is something you can think about of buying yourself a carbon fiber seat post. The saddle here is the Specialized body geometry saddles. From my experience, excellent saddles. I like them a lot. But since saddles are a personal preference, maybe you want to, put your own saddle here, which is going to be super easy. Nothing proprietary, nothing special here with the saddle. Now, also I have to mention here, when you look at the cable routing on this bike, so the cables from the shifters and the cables from the hydraulic disc brakes are nicely routed into the down tube and into the fork. So again, no proprietary solution here. It's going to be easy to service, and I'm glad that they didn't route the cables through the head tube, because then if you have any problems, you just have to go to your local mechanic to sort anything, because it's going to be too demanding for the home mechanic. Okay, so all in with these small pieces, handlebar stem, saddle seat post, everything absolutely fine here, no special complaints from me. Now let's talk about the group set. So what are you going to get on this gravel bike? So this is the SRAM Apex Explore group set. So this is a 12-speed mechanical group set dedicated to gravel riding, and in this instance, as you see, there is no front mech on this bike, so this is a single chainring setup. I believe that for gravel bikes it is totally fine to have this single ring setup at the front, and of course you remove the front mech, so it's a bit simpler bike design, simpler to maintain. But also maybe some people who live in a really steep surroundings, or are climbing some really steep mountains, something like 20% gradients, then probably you will wish to have a double chainring, just because it's going to give you much more gear ratios. So in this instance, SRAM Apex shifters and the SRAM Apex rear mech, so 12-speed mechanical group set. Also you have the SRAM 12-speed dedicated chain, and this cassette at the back is the SRAM cassette 12-speed, and it is 1144 chainrings, and at the front you have the single chainring, which is a 40-tooth chainring. So you have this combination of the 40-tooth chainring at the front and 1144 cassette at the back, so it is a good huge gear ratio. But as I'm saying, if you really live in a super steep surroundings, then maybe this ratio won't be enough for you, and then you have to think about the bikes with the double chainring at the front. So all in, a proper workhorse from SRAM Apex, 12-speed mechanical group set. Absolutely no special complaints here from me, and I would just suggest you that in the future, when you need to replace this chain or the cassette, you should definitely choose something from the SRAM lineup. So is it a SRAM 12-speed compatible chains or SRAM 12-speed compatible cassettes. When it comes to the braking system on this bike, so you will get the SRAM Apex hydraulic disc brakes front and the back. These are with the SRAM Paceline rotors, and as I can see from here, both rotors should be 160mm both front and the back, which is absolutely excellent. This is what you want. You want a good stopping power and a good heat dissipation on this bike. Also, The bottom bracket here is the threaded bottom bracket, which in my opinion is absolutely excellent, easy to service, easy to replace, and definitely any local mechanic can easily handle it. Now let's talk about the wheel set and the tires on this bike, and also the total weight of this bike. So when it comes to the wheel set, the Specialized is in this instance using the combination of DT Swiss G540 aluminum rims. These rims are tubeless compatible, tubeless ready. They have a 25mm internal rim width, and in this instance I believe that Specialized is using some of their own basic hubs on this wheel set. So listen, as it is now, this wheel set is pretty basic aluminum wheel set, probably around 2 kilograms in weight. So in the future, if you are considering of upgrading the wheel set, I can definitely suggest you to have a look at a DT Swiss lineup of wheels, for example DT Swiss GR 1600 wheel set, just because the full DT Swiss built wheels with the DT Swiss, let's say 240 hubs or 350 hubs, are going to be much more superior than this built on the bike. Also, the tires on this bike are the Pathfinder Pro tires, Specialized tires front and the back, 38mm tires, and I believe that this frame goes easily up to 45mm tires. So definitely in the future I would advise you to increase the volume of these tires by going a bit with a wider tire. It will just make your riding off-road much more smoother. So all in, as I say, a pretty standard classical aluminum wheel set with probably some simple Specialized hubs, so definitely it's going to be fine out of the box, but in the future a good place to upgrade the wheel set. And as I was saying, the total bike weight for the size 56 is 9.4 kilograms, which is very impressive in my book, and that's why Specialized is saying that this is the lightest alloy gravel bike currently on the market. So what is my advice to you if you are in the market for a gravel bike and you are willing to consider aluminum gravel bike? Well, definitely I can tell you that considering this price of $2,600, if you are willing to take an aluminum gravel bike, you should definitely go ahead and shortlist this bike, or even better, if you do a bit of negotiation with the Specialized bike dealers and let's say you get a bit of discount, like 10% discount, you should definitely go ahead and just buy this Specialized Crux DSW gravel bike. Well, I believe that they have done a very good job with this aluminum gravel bike, and also the price point of $2,600 is very attractive when you consider that this is, after all, a big Specialized bike manufacturer. So this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!